I'm going to take you back to your first meeting with Mr. Bhansali on this. What was the first meeting like?
The first meeting for Heeramandi, I possibly didn't know it was a meeting for Heeramandi because
Oh.
somewhere in the middle of the lockdowns when things had opened a little bit, I still wasn't sure, but the look test was incredible. And then cut to, I was told that I'm playing Bibbojaan. I was so excited.
Right.
I mean, I can't even tell you, I'm being very calm when I'm speaking to you. But a call from Sanjay sir means I'll be jumping up and down.
dancing,
Even when
yeah.
I'm just speaking to him on the phone, I'm jumping up and down.
Any apprehensions and concerns that what will I have a full on role? Like, will there be an arc? Will everybody given proper roles?
You know, I've never felt that insecurity because Sanjay sir loves his heroines. He loves his characters. He wants to do justice to them more than you might have even thought of. He challenges himself first and then he challenges us all.
Taha was saying that, Richa had a costume which was some 40 kgs or whatever, and she had some 60 takes, something to do. You tell me, what is the challenge? Because you are a trained dancer, you do it beautifully, but still, on a set with Mr. Bhansali, watching you through his lens, what is the challenge?
Yes, you're right. Like some days the costume is heavy. It's like for me, I have learned dance, but I've learned Bharatanatyam.
Okay,
And
yeah,
that is
that's
so in my
different,
body.
yeah.
It's so different from Kathak. I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yeah.
I think
No,
the
I get
fuel
it,
is
yeah.
in the challenge.
Right.
And it comes with a lot of love.
Right.
A lot of love.
A lot of love.
And
That's
a lot of
most
praise.
important. Congratulations, you're engaged.
Thank you.
So, this is a great time. Heeramandi has released, you're engaged. So how would you describe this part of your life? Exciting time, come on. That much is not...
I mean, I'm thinking because like it's so difficult to say it in like one word, but
don't
I
say it
feel
in one
very
word,
blessed.
Okay.
I feel
Right.
very blessed.
Okay.
And I feel very loved
Right.
and very, very grateful. I think Sid was very moved.
Okay.
And when he called me, he wasn't able to speak. And all he said was, I want to come and meet Sanjay sir. Hey, this is Aditi Rao Hydari, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Aditi, welcome to Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm very excited to do this interview, especially after watching all the episodes of Heeramandi. I don't want to tell people anything, but I want to understand how this was made. I would like we are talking to people who may not have watched it at all. So let everybody understand what this is. I'm going to take you back to your first meeting with Mr. Bhansali on this. What was the first meeting like?
First meeting for Heeramandi?
Yes, first meeting for Heeramandi. Yeah.
Actually, the first meeting for Heeramandi, I possibly didn't know it was a meeting for Heeramandi because somewhere in the middle of the lockdowns when things had opened a little bit, I was in Bombay shooting and I was missing Sir because quite often I would just pop in to see him. And I went and had lunch with him and he was specifically feeding me because he was like, "Bahut patli ho gayi hai." And through that he was just chatting with me and it was just a really lovely evening. And then I went back, continued shooting. I was shooting in the south. And cut to many months later, I was on my way to a release function. And I had just been told 100% occupancy. So it was a great day. And then I got a call around the same time that I got the other call to say that when you're back in town and Sanjay sir wants to meet you. That's how it happened. I came back to Bombay and I went straight into a look test.
Wow.
And I still wasn't sure, but the look test was incredible. Sanjay sir will do everything 100%.
Right.
Like he just creates that world for you like that. And it was a beautifully done look test, did it. And then cut to, I was told that I'm playing Bibbojaan.
Wow.
And I was so excited. I didn't know anything at that point.
So look test ke time par you didn't know what this look test is for?
I knew Heeramandi.
Okay, you knew Heeramandi.
By then, of course,
Everybody
I
would think it was
knew.
out,
Yes. I just didn't know what I was playing.
Okay.
I didn't know what we were doing, etc., etc. And then, of course, I was told Bibbojaan, and I was so excited.
Right.
I mean, I can't even tell you. I'm being very calm when I'm speaking to you, but a call from Sanjay sir means I'll be jumping up and down. Even when I'm just speaking to him on the phone, I'm jumping up and down.
Yeah. A call from someone like him who's again wants to work with you, it must be a big boost for the actor inside you, right? That
100%.
confidence someone like him puts in.
100%. And I've said this before, the filmmakers that I love and respect, if they call me again,
Again.
for me that's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
And a huge, I mean, that's why I'm here. And for me, cinema is legacy. And great filmmakers create cinematic legacy. And I so want to be a part of that legacy,
Right.
you know.
You said you became an actor because of Mani Ratnam and because of Sanjay Bhansali.
Yeah.
What when you were watching this as a fan and you thought you would be an actor acting in the movies?
You know, I think a little girl's dream is very potent.
Yeah.
It's very like there's some power in it
Yeah.
because I remember watching Kehna Hi Kya, Bombay.
Yeah.
And soon after that, I mean, some years later, I think, Khamoshi.
Yes.
And Manisha ma'am was a part of both.
Yes,
And I was just like, that's where I want to be.
Wow.
And there was also Rituparno Ghosh after that. And I don't know, the power of those dreams.
Wow.
So I feel very, 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 very blessed to be picked by them.
To be picked
You
by
can
them.
dream and pray all you like, but they have to pick you.
Yeah.
So I feel very blessed.
Did you say this? Did you tell Manisha Koirala this?
Yes.
What was?
She knows this story. She's just very sweet and she's
Yeah.
so warm and she's very loving. Very, very unlike Malika Jaan, actually.
Yeah. Now coming to your character Bibbojaan, like it has. I mean, people who have not seen it, this has a beautiful arc. It has a full story.
Yes.
That's what's important, and people should know that. Even even if they've just started it, I won't tell you all much. But what would you like to tell them? What can we tell them at this stage? What stood out for you about this girl?
No, first, I do want to say that the magic of Sanjay sir is that
Yes.
he tells every woman's story with a lot of love and dignity.
Okay. Wow.
So whether it's the story of revenge, as is in the case of Malika Jaan and Faridan, or it's a story of pain, as in the case of Lajjo, or a love story, or Wahida's,
Beautiful.
almost abandonment. There's so much dignity in what he does, and there's so much passion and love
It is.
that it really shows. And he always creates wholesome, sort of wholesome women who are so layered, sometimes complex, but are so human. And I think that's why they move you, and that's why they stay with you. And I feel actually very lucky to have lived Bibbojaan's life, and I'm very, very blessed that life was given to me to live, because I just loved her from the moment I heard her story. And the whole arc that she goes through, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so blessed to play out a life like this, because and again I will bring Sanjay sir back into it, his own value for the female narrative and women, that shows in everything that he does.
Bilkul.
And here is a girl who, and girls can in cinema can become very one tone. And I know, because so many people have asked me this question, like there's, sometimes there's the vulnerability that people hang on to, or the way that you look, or the softness, etc., etc. But here is a filmmaker who says that this softness can be this person's greatest strength. And the strength can be their softness. Like vulnerability can make you fearless, and fearlessness can make you vulnerable.
Beautiful, yeah.
And I think Bibbojaan is such a beautiful life of fire and grace. The softness is there, the human kindness is there, the beauty is there. She's an artist. She's celebrated for her dance and music, but she's fearless.
Very
and
brave.
She takes destiny
head on.
Absolutely, with no fear, just courage.
Amazing. Talking about Sanjay sir, you were saying he shows women like nobody else. Not just the appearance and the costumes and the jewelry. This is the inner strength.
Absolutely.
It's and my first question to you is, when there are so many women at the start, when you hear about Heeramandi, are there any apprehensions and concerns that what will I have a full on role? Will there be an arc? Will everybody given proper roles?
I've never felt that insecurity, because Sanjay sir loves his heroines. He loves his characters. he wants to do justice to them more than you might have even thought of. He believes in them more than you might have thought of.
Yeah.
He challenges himself first, and then he challenges us all.
Right.
You know, so I have never felt even a shred of doubt or it's only trust, only surrender, and I mean it. I'm not saying this because I'm on camera.
Right.
I love him. I love what he does with us, and I love what he does with us uniquely. You know, each dream is unique, each beauty is unique, each fearlessness is unique, each revenge is unique,
Yeah.
each artist is unique, each character is unique, each woman is unique,
Each woman is
and
unique.
he celebrates that.
Wow. Yeah, he totally does.
Yeah,
You
and
can
he
see it.
celebrates the layers, he celebrates the complexities, and you can see that he loves them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It stems from love, deep love.
And the concerns of a woman,
Yeah.
the last line and is like जो समाज और लड़कियों को अपने जायदाद में हिस्सा भी नहीं
Yeah.
देता है. Now this is such a strong line that this is a society we live in where the boy gets everything. It's such a given, and he's added it in such a subtle way, like just as a passing mention. Someone who understands what women's problems are as well. How do you think he understands this? Like, I don't get to interview him very often, so you tell me.
I mean, I feel like I'm talking about somebody who's very, very legendary, and it's
Yes,
difficult to
Sure,
to
just your
speak about somebody.
observation,
I'm like,
yeah.
what I feel is it's his own value for women,
Right.
and possibly stems from his own, how he has grown up and what value he holds. And I think that deep love and respect comes from there.
Sure, yeah.
There's no other way that I can explain it, because it's almost like if you treat them any less than how he sees them, it's almost like toheen,
Yeah. Right.
Ki, how can you do that? These are just, they are like incredibly magical, multitasking, multi-layered creatures, and they are like, he treats every woman like a queen.
Wow.
She can be from anywhere, she can be any profession, she can be anything, but she's a woman, she is a queen.
Wow.
And she deserves to be treated like a
Right,
queen.
and
with
it shows
dignity.
in his work.
It
shows
really
it.
does.
When you, as an artist, because you know this person and because you know what he creates, as an artist, you surrender 100%. You think it's a lot more than you would give many other projects.
I am a director's baby, I will say that.
Okay.
But then, because now I have kind of understood that that's how I function. I function like a 5-year-old.
Okay.
So I come onto a set, that is my playground, and I want to be a fearless little child playing on a jungle gym. So for me, surrender is the only way I know.
Okay.
I like to be a sponge. I love to surrender. That is my fuel. To follow my director around, to listen to what he says, to absorb it, and hopefully, sort of create what it is that the person has imagined, and hopefully more.
Yeah.
That is the magic of cinema. And
Right.
Sanjay sir and directors who come with that passionate intention to create cinema, it's very, like, it's effortless to surrender to them. For me, at least, it's
Right.
effortless, and I really love that.
Right.
I come clean slate, and I just listen and absorb, and that's the only thing I know.
Right. Effortlessly surrendering is the right word, you said. At the panel yesterday when we were talking, Taha was saying that, Richa had a costume which was some 40 kgs or whatever, and she had some 60 takes, something to do. You tell me, what is the challenge? Because though you are a trained dancer, you do it beautifully, but still, on a set with Mr. Bhansali, watching you through his lens, what is the challenge? There must be challenging days, I'm sure.
100%, of course, because again, like I said, Sanjay sir challenges himself the most. So he's an aesthete. He has a lot of knowledge about all the arts.
Okay.
From music, dance, costume, and he can figure every little detail and remember it. But in that, and that's what people talk a lot about when we speak about Sanjay sir. A lot of people talk about this and the grandeur and the scale. But I feel that what is truly actually challenging is that in that, the magic that he's looking for, and the magic that comes from a human quality that touches you, that makes you go, You know, that's what he's actually looking for. And the challenge is that. And that challenge is actually the most incredible challenge for an actor, for me, because I want to see that twinkle in his eye when he has seen it.
Okay.
And I'm like, one works towards it, and yes, you're right, like some days the costume is heavy. It's like, for me, I have learned dance, but I've learned Bharatanatyam,
Okay.
and that is so in my
different.
body. It's so different from Kathak. I didn't have much time to prepare, though I am a front bencher and I like worked at it. But he finds nuances, and Kruti was choreographing, and Sanjay sir finds the nuances, and it was hard because he also knows us. He knows you well. He's intuitive. He's very perceptive, and he knows when something is not going. But I always feel like what he says is so from the heart, and he says it because he wants you to be better. That it's very what's the word for it? It's very empowering.
Okay.
To be in that place. I don't know if I answered your question, but I think
No,
the
I get
fuel
it,
is in the challenge.
Right.
And it comes with a lot of love.
Right.
A lot of love.
A lot of love.
And
That's
a lot of
most
praise.
important. And a lot of praise
Yes,
also. Yeah.
yes.
He will be very vocal about it.
Absolutely. If he doesn't like something also, he's very clear that it's not working. And if he likes it, he will shower you with
Amazing.
love. Yeah.
Amazing. That must be a confidence boost on a set.
It's
with
incredible.
Him, right?
Yeah.
Could you give me
And both are incredible, actually.
Both are, okay.
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of a conversation with him when you all are not on the same page, we are not getting it, and he wants something else, and you're trying your best? What is that like? Is it?
For me, that happened in the first Mujra.
Okay.
The first Mujra, so we started our shoot with Hatto Jao.
Okay.
That was the first Mujra I did. I had also just recently recovered from COVID, and
back then, right?
yeah. So no, this was one of the many other strains.
Okay.
So anyway, we started with this Mujra, and the first day was by the end of the day, with, like you said, the costume is heavy and it was difficult, and my brain was not taking in anymore. And I could see what it is he was telling me. I could understand it, but the firing wasn't happening. And trust me, what he was saying made complete sense. And I was so disappointed at myself because I knew he didn't get what he wanted. But just before we wrapped, we got it.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
wow.
So relieved, because my main thing in all this is that he believes so much in us, so that I never want to see him disappointed, because that's not an option for me. So that day was difficult. Otherwise, there is one more thing. So Sanjay sir would tease me because he would say getting the anger out of this girl is really difficult. If I say angry scene, she'll do one love scene with full Shringar Bhav. So, and he's right somewhere. You know, it is like, for me, it is the most tiring thing to be angry in a particular way. Anger of a particular kind, like that very outward anger.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I have to be this passionate, rousing girl. You know, I have to like make all these people believe in what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
So that day we did 2 takes, or 2 or 3 takes, and then he just called me very sweetly and he started speaking to me. When he started speaking to me, I remember, like, all I remember was just being. It was almost like I got taken into another world, because he speaks very beautifully and he speaks from here, so it's so passionate. And it, like, I had tears over here, you know, when he was speaking, and I was like, it dawned upon me that how beautiful, like what he's telling me is so incredibly beautiful. I'm blessed. And he said, okay, now we're going to shoot this scene. I'm going to give everybody a lunch break. You will not eat. Is that okay? I was like, done. So I didn't eat.
Why?
And he said, just think about it. And it really helped me.
Okay.
It helped me because it kept me kind of on the edge and not like soft. And so I went back to my van. I just thought about everything that he said. He basically told me a story. And I came back and we shot it. And it was okayed.
Wow.
And
that's interesting.
so, like, little things like that, you know, like, yeah.
Wow.
But I don't think I was ever at odds with him in any such way. I don't have that issue.
You're not that person either. Yeah.
But I'm genuinely, why should I need to be?
Right, true. Why would anyone need to be?
Yeah.
Right. For Mr. Bhansali's projects, do you get a full-on script to read everything, or is it a big secret that you will get your part and
No, I got the
you
full
got a
script.
full script?
Yeah.
So did you, on paper, do you understand the whole thing? Like, there's a backdrop of freedom struggle. Do you read? Yeah.
So this is a very good question actually, because everything was there. There was a script. Of course, there was a script. There was a complete script. I read it. But I also know that Sanjay sir, like I was saying, like because he challenges himself so much and he's constantly looking for that magic. He creates as he goes along. And I knew that whatever was there on paper, he would do something
Else.
even more, not else,
Bigger.
but bigger, and find like more meaning, more subtext, something magical he would do with it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
And yeah.
So when
I feel-
Aditi reads the script and when you later watch it, when we watch it, or before that, are you also taken aback like we are?
I was mesmerized. I remember the day that Heeramandi released, I was told I had to do interviews, and I was just like, guys, you have all forgotten that I am a Sanjay Leela Bhansali girl. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
As a fan, I want to watch it.
You want to watch it, right.
So I kept myself out of it. I was like, I'm his fan. I want to watch his show. What was your question?
So do you understand, do we understand the freedom struggle on paper, and do you get surprised when you finally see as a fan, like when we are watching?
So, yeah, 100% it was way bigger, way more magical, way more dramatic, and what I felt was like I cried like a baby.
Yeah.
Like I just bawled and bawled and bawled.
I can imagine.
And when I was reading the script, I was more in awe of what
Right.
was happening, and I was like, wow, Sanjay sir is going to direct this. That's so incredible. So I feel like the translation is just, that's all here. And how do you write what is here? You
That's
can't,
amazing, right?
So, but he does it as he goes along. And I have to say this, like quite often, and this has happened to me especially earlier when I used to, when I was working, when I started 2011 type. So I was new and I would read a script and I have a mad imagination. So, and I see everything visually. So I would go into like all kinds of this thing. And then when I would see the film, I'd be like, even if I had not done it, I'd be like, what's this?
Yeah.
But with Sanjay sir, it's ulta.
Okay, right.
So you see something and it's amazing, and then you watch it and then you're like, wow. Genius human.
What transcends, like you were saying that when Mr. Bhansali is explaining you something, your tears are literally here. And today when I was watching, my tears were literally here. So that's how it actually transcends and reaches the end user, the viewer. It is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It's really from the heart.
It is from the heart.
Yeah.
When people from India will watch it, they'll relate to it completely. We all know the struggle of freedom, but internationally you're getting good reactions as well. What has that been like? This is released in so many countries.
The nuances that people are picking up. Like I believe one of the critics and cinema lovers said that the theme of freedom, you see it in such a nuanced way from the first mujra that Bibbo does, of the Hato Jao mujra, till the end, where it actually culminates in, and how it does, not giving any spoilers.
Yes.
And the fact that, considering that culturally, there is no real context for them, etc., etc. But that's what really makes, like, that's what shows that Sanjay sir is so global in his reach, because here is India in all its, and sort of Indian art, culture, aesthetics, everything at its peak, in terms of visually. But what actually gets to you is the humanness and the emotion and the emotional arcs and that whole feeling of heroism and patriotism and the country and even including these women and their desires and dreams and disappointments and all of that. So it's that connects human beings. They could be from anywhere in the world.
Right. True.
But
Story is a story.
So a story is about making you feel.
Yeah.
And like it's about sitting in people's hearts.
Right,
you know?
absolutely. We'll leave the rest for people to go and watch Heeramandi. I can't not talk to you about this. Congratulations, you're engaged.
Thank you.
So, you know, this is a great time. Heeramandi has released, you're engaged. So this, how would you describe this part of your life? Exciting time, come on. That much is not...
I mean, I'm thinking because like it's so difficult to say it in like one word, but
don't
I
say it
feel
in one
very
word.
blessed.
Okay.
I feel
Right.
very blessed.
Okay.
And I feel very loved
Right.
and very, very grateful.
Right. You are a very private person. You would not like people to delve into your personal life, which we will not. Anything you want to share about Siddharth? What did he think of Heeramandi?
I think Sid was very moved.
Okay.
And when he called me, he wasn't able to speak. And all he said was, I want to come and meet Sanjay sir.
Wow.
And
that's nice.
he also said, so now we're going to have 2 freedom fighters in our family,
Yes.
Bhagat Singh and Bibbojaan.
Yeah, right.
I was like, my God, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Has he watched all the episodes?
Yes.
Amazing.
Binge watched at one go.
Binge watch at one go. Well done. Super. Do you want to just, before we wrap, do you want to tell people to watch Heeramandi? People who are still yet to watch.
Heeramandi on Netflix. It's streaming now. There is the greatest Sanjay Leela Bhansali. There's lots of drama, entertainment, beautiful songs, grandeur, scale, beauty, and at the heart of it all, tremendous love for the country. So watch it.
Aditi, you've always impressed us with your performances, and you know we are not surprised we were never surprised when they cast you. We've seen you on the beautiful posters of Taj also, and we used to cross and be like, wow, this is just perfect on this poster. So looking forward to all more, and best of luck. Enjoy this phase of Heeramandi success.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, this is Aditi Rao Hydari, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.